What's good? Y'all already know what it is. It's your girl Nisha back again with another flawless video for you guys. As you can see, your girl is getting a little bit more comfortable being in front of the camera, if you feel me. But this is going to be a story time. Your girl went to the emergency room, as you can see by the title. And this was crazy. It was good news, a good day and a bad day for me. So before we get into that, I just want to make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and turn that post notification bell so you get notified every time your girl posts. So you can see those new videos coming in, because your girl's going to be doing more. Got trips coming up. It's about to turn up, you know. But anyways, let's get into the story. So, March 6th, 2023. Your girl got good news and bad news at the same time. How does that work? But, so, mind you guys, I am attending therapy now. It's nothing that, you know, seriously wrong, so to speak, but just things within myself that I have to get comfortable with. And things I'm trying to work on before I leave college. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to leave college the same way. Just like my aunt said, if you leave college the same way, you failed. So, I've been trying to keep that in the back of my mind, which is why I've been getting therapy. And it's been helping a lot. I've been, you know, doing more self-care, stuff like that, etc. So, your girl's doing good with that. But just this day, I had Monday at 11 o'clock after my class. So, went to my therapy. After that weekend that had just passed, I had just had it, you know, some problems, family problems that were personal. And, you know, on that side, a little bit of, not drama, but things that kind of had me down a little bit, had my spirits down. And then, of course, that day, you know, that next day I had therapy, which I went. You know, I was, you know, good or whatever. Not to mention, I had an interview that day, too. And that my interview was at, what, 2 o'clock, I think? Yeah. Yeah, 2 o'clock. I'm sorry, y'all. There's so many times, and it was a lot going on that day. But it was 2 o'clock. So, went to my therapy, got some more interesting tips about self-care and how to deal with my anxiety and stuff like that. After I left there, I came back to the dorms. What did I do? Came here, I took a nap, then I went to the library, just kind of passing time a little bit. And so after that, I was like, well, I gotta go back. So I got a interview clothes because I didn't have time to change. Not to mention, your girl was already on edge. But that's besides the point. So, packed my clothes, took them with me to my interview. It was an open interview. So, a lot of people were there that I didn't expect to be there. So it took, 2 hours? 2 hours, because I got there early, and of course they had to set up too. And like I said, it was a lot of people, and everybody had to get, you know, introduce themselves. It's a whole process. And by the way, your girl got a job at Chick-fil-A, like I was during the summer, and I love Chick-fil-A. Never thought I would. I worked there for the summer. It was amazing, and of course I had to do it again. But of course, y'all know the fall semester, your girl was having a little rough time trying to find a job. Folks wouldn't get back to you. You gotta reapply, do all this extra, and it was really draining at some point. And I was starting to get stressed out. And so finally, your girl finally got a job interview, and I got the job on the spot. That's how it go. And the lady even told me, she was like, "Girl, your face, I could see why they chose you at the other place, because my smile was great. I had good energy." And that's one thing I do love about Chick-fil-A. Side note, Chick-fil-A is amazing. I would recommend anybody to work there. But anyways, so yeah, your girl went to the interview, waited, got a job on the spot, left. I called my mom, called my dad, let them know, like, hey, your girl about to get that check again. You feel me? Your girl about to start spending. She about to start shopping, getting the nails done again. As y'all can see, I've been doing my nails myself, even though they look good right now. Your girl, you know, hey, got to make it work. Sacrifices. But, oh, what was that? A snort? Excuse me, guys. But anyway, where do I stop there? Yeah, I called my mom first. I was like, hey, girl, I got the job. She was like, I knew you was going to get it. Well, no need to worry. My dad, he said the same thing. So I was like, okay. let me top all this off with a meal. Mind you, I got up, my first class was at 10. So I got up at, when did I get up? I got up at 9:30. Yeah, I got up at 9:30. Mind you, I couldn't sleep the night before. Like I said, I was under, not stress, but just from dealing with the personal issues that is going on in my family. I hadn't been sleeping too good. On top of anxiety, tests, and all that extra stuff. But that's college. It's life. It's gonna happen regardless. But so I didn't sleep. I didn't get much sleep. I only had 3-4 hours to sleep when I finally did get to sleep, and then I had to be back up. What time? I don't know what time I went to bed, y'all. But I tossed and turned for a minute. Anyways, so once I got done with my parents, I was like, well, I'm gonna get some food after my class. Mind you, I had another class at 3:30, and of course that passed time, so I didn't get back till what, 3:45, 3:35, 3:40. So I still made the class on time. Of course, I got friends in that class, so they caught me up with the notes and stuff we were taking, which was not the big issue. Which I'm thankful for. I love my friends. But yeah, so after my class, my friend was like, you going to Mom's? I was like, no, not really. Kind of want a burrito today. And y'all, on our campus, we have a Chick-fil-A and a Moe's. So I kind of had a taste for Moe's. And mind you, I normally just get the beef burrito because that's all I'm really accustomed to and what I like. But for some reason, they didn't have beef that day. And so I was like, well, I'm going to try to, get the chicken. So I got chicken, cheese, and my burrito is very simple, y'all. I don't need much. Like, I don't like lettuce and all that extra. So I had chicken, cheese, and Chipotle ranch, which I didn't know they had. And it was so good, y'all. It was so good. I had my mouth ready. So I got that, and then I was like, you know what, to top it off, let me get some salsa. So the backstory to this is, your girl is allergic to tomatoes. Now, I know a lot of y'all are gonna be like, damn, like, why would you get salsa? Tomatoes are in it. Give me a little slack, okay? I'm not the first person to do it. So the first time I had it was at home, and my dad had cooked omelets, for breakfast or whatever. And I had it, and for whatever reason, I had like it's basically an allergic reaction. That's basically what it is. And I was starting to get like swollen and tight here, which was not in the norm. And of course, my mom's a doctor, so of course she knows, what all that feels like and all the extra, what I need to take and all that. But we didn't think nothing of it because it was the first time it had happened. The second time it happened here. And they make omelets here in our Palms, which is kind of like a cafeteria, so to speak. And so I normally get in my omelet tomatoes, bell peppers, and cheese, and ham. And so I ate that one day, and then did it again. The same way. Tight right here, and just face just going crazy. So I was like, okay. I told my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, try to stay away from it or whatever, which I have been. But, of course, that didn't work out. So, little times here and there, I would taste it to see if it really was an allergic reaction, if I was allergic to it. Keep in mind, my dad was allergic to tomatoes. Well, my brother and my uncle, they were allergic to tomatoes when they were little, but they eventually grew out of it. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a little glitch. Maybe it's nothing serious. But for whatever reason, on this day, I decided to get salsa and chips with my burrito. Mind you, I got back. I was super happy. I had finally got some good news. I felt good. The day started off good. So, came back here, ate my burrito. After I finished my burrito, I started eating the salsa and the chips. No matter if seconds, your girl face was getting tight. All of this got tight. So now I'm looking like, okay, it's happening again for whatever reason. So I went in the, by the bathroom, the sink or whatever, looked in the mirror and was like, oh my God. Like, y'all, all this was tight. Like, I couldn't move my face for. So I was like, okay, let me wait a minute, see what happens. And all of a sudden, y'all, my throat started getting scratchy. I started wheezing, which was out of the norm. And none of this has ever happened the first 2 times that I have had tomatoes. So now I'm like, okay, obviously this is a little different. So I was like, okay, let me pop a Benadryl or something, because the Benadryl always works for me. So pop that. It still was going on. My dumb even tried to lay down and kept coughing. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't drink no water. Like, y'all, my throat was literally closing. And my was sitting here wasting time. So, mind you, my roommate had just left. And she was heading to the gym. I thought she took her car, but she said she ended up walking that day. She was like, I don't feel like driving. I'm going to just walk. I don't even know how far she was. I think she was like halfway there, because the rec center is like back this way towards the front of the school. So I was like, okay, I called her. Well, she texted me, and it's so weird. She had just said, she was like, I feel like my allergies are starting to mess up, because y'all know with pollen and all that, I get congested too around the spring and the fall. My parents got it. My brothers and sisters got it. We just all got it bad. Damn. Can't catch a break. But anyways, she had just texted me that, and I was in the midst of calling her. And, like, she was like, hello. I was like, girl, like, my throat is closing. I'm having another allergic reaction. So now she's on the phone panicking, because she like, well, I'm down here on the end. So now she has to run back. I didn't even know she ran back, y'all. I'm telling you, all this was in a matter of seconds. So I hung up from her. She was like, okay, I'm on my way. Take a Benadryl, do anything. I'll be right back. I'll be back in a second. So after I got the phone with her, I called my mom. I was like, and mind y'all, I wasn't even going to call my parents. Think about how that sounds. Didn't want to call my parents. Now, mind you, I'm in Valdosta, Georgia. So my mom's in Birmingham, which is 6 hours away. My dad's in Phoenix City, Alabama, but he's 3 hours away. Now, even though my dad might seem closer, they're still far. It's still going to take some hours to get here. So I was like, I don't want to call them, have them worried, come down here for no reason. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't want my mom's pressure to go up either. Even though, she was calm, cool, collect, but pressure was still up. But I end up calling her, and I was like, Ma, I'm having another allergic reaction to these tomatoes. Like, it's worse than what it is. Like, now I'm wheezing, I can't breathe. And she was like, okay, call, where's Nia? And I was like, she's on her way back. So in her mind, she's like, okay, well, Nia drove, so she could take you to the emergency room. I did find out that she didn't have her car until she got back. And so once by the time she got here, I had already threw on something. I didn't even put on nothing. I put back on like my jogging pants and my my black Nike hoodie and my hat. My hair was already in a ponytail, so I put my hat on. Grabbed my key. Well, I actually forgot my keys. And actually, I have a hold on, so I can show you guys. Oh boy. Mind you, I carry this little pouch around with me just in case I don't want to take my purse everywhere. So my ID and my insurance card was in here, because I know that I had another appointment I had to go to later the next day. So I kind of put my stuff already in here so I wouldn't have to worry about it. Forgot this. I grabbed my phone because I knew I was going to need it. My mom was going to call me, and my dad's going to, well, I know my dad's going to call me. I didn't tell him. But yeah, so we went down. She came in. She got her keys, her phone, everything else. And we went downstairs. She was checking, but she was like, you rather take the stairs or the elevator? I'm like, I can take the stairs. That's fine. I'm still breathing, but is very faint. Like, I'm still functioning, I'm still walking, I'm still up. It's just my face is what's going through the problem. So once we got downstairs, I had to stop. Like, even coughing, it hurts. And it wasn't a burning sensation, but it would burn every time I cough. And I was still wheezing on top of that. Mind you, like, she's panicking. We had to call 911, and it took them forever to get here because they couldn't find the place. Like, come on. So after we got on the phone with them, my mom called back, and she was asking me, the questions or whatever. And I was in the midst of coughing or whatever, and now I'm in tears because I'm like, yo, this has never happened to me, and it's happening within a matter of seconds, and the ambulance is taking their precious time. So my mom, she was like, Nia, hand her the phone. I guess she heard me crying or whatever, and she was like, stop crying, it's okay, just keep breathing, doing what you can do. Ain't nothing wrong. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be handled. And so now my mom is mad. She's like, when is the ambulance? Like, they're taking their precious time. So UPD, which is the campus police, they got here first. University police, I'm sorry, department. They got here first, and they had I can't think of the name of the thing. But they called it in saying where we were, and he was asking questions. He was like, are you still breathing? Can you still breathe? I was like, yeah, but it's very faint, and I'm still wheezing. Like, and by this time, the Benadryl kind of smoothed some of this out, but I was still wheezing, and my throat was still hurting. So it was like, okay. So finally, the ambulance got there. Y'all, my roommate could not ride with me. I was so pissed, but she's not a family member. So I guess that's just part of their protocol. You can't ride unless you're a family member. I would have lied and said she was my sister, but hey, in that matter of time, wasn't nobody thinking. So my mom was on video call with me in the ambulance or whatever, and she was like, I'll just meet you there. Just go, take her. And so, of course, they took my blood pressure and all that stuff, asked me what was wrong, what I had eaten, or whatever. So finally, we in the midst of pulling up to the emergency room, in the doors where they take you in, roll you through there, my mom said, hold on, let me call your dad real quick. So he got on phone. He was like, girl, I just got off the phone with you. Why are you in the ambulance? I was like, hey, don't yell at me right now. There's some serious stuff going on here. Of course, me trying to make light of the situation. And he was like, okay. So they both on the phone quiet because, of course, they're trying to hear everything that's going on. I went in, gave the lady my name, social. Of course, I didn't have my insurance card on me right then, but of course, they can always get that later. Put me in the system, took me to my room, put the, patches on me or whatever, blood pressure, heart rate. Asked me what what happened that day, told him. And so I waited for a few minutes. So my dad ended up getting off the phone, and he was like, okay, I'll check on you, later to check on updates and all that. So my mom, we still on video call, but now it's my aunt, it's my mom, my aunt, my cousin, and me. All of us on the phone making jokes, and they like, girl, you nearly gave us a damn heart attack. You down there you trying to check out. I was like, no, I ain't trying to check out. Of course, we stood there, we laughed and talked or whatever, trying to, lighten the mood, of course. So by this time, it's like, had been 45 minutes before the doctor came in. And so he came in and he was like, basically the same thing, what happened, what caused it. And he was like, okay, well, we're going to give you some medication or whatever to anaphylactics, kind of calm your stomach and all that. And so they went and got, medication and all that, which took them a minute because, Georgia is, Valdosta, Georgia is a small little town. It's not much. So, but they still have a lot of people in the emergency room. And child, it was so many howling children in there. You have no idea. But anyway, So by this time at work, I'm like, well, they ain't let my roommate back. I even asked the nurse, I was like, well, my roommate was supposed to be coming. They ain't not letting her back or whatever. And she was like, yeah, she'll be back in a minute once she, once we get everything settled. So finally, after an hour, I'm still on the phone with my mom or whatever. And she ended up knocking on the door and she came in. And I was like, okay, good. They let her back. So I said, okay, you guys, I'll holler at y'all later. I'll give y'all updates, let y'all know what's wrong and what goes, how it turns out. So me and my roommate, we ended up staying there for an hour. She ended up calling her mom because she had told her mom because, like I said, she was panicked. And we didn't even think to use her EpiPen. Like I said, in the moment, nobody thinks about this. And she was already, like, panicked and stressed. So I was like, her mom was like, yeah, are you good? And of course, we made light of the situation, laughing, joking. And so we got off the phone, we ended up watching TV. Ended up being there for another half hour. And so the man, the doctor came back in and he was like, I'm going to give you this, prescription tonight just in case and take it, every day. Time to get you back on track or whatever. So I was like, okay. And so eventually I would have to get an EpiPen. But, after I got my prescription, I got discharged or whatever. We left. Now my roommate, she's like, you need something? What is it? And so I was like, no, just hungry. Mind you, I shouldn't have been, yeah, it had been a few hours. It had been a few hours since then, so yeah. Girl had got some McDonald's or whatever. A little nugget, So got that, came back here. She was like, leave your door open because I need to be able to hear you breathing. I'm like, y'all is crazy. You just finna really watch me like a hawk? She was like, yeah, leave the door open. I was like, all right. So that night I did get some sleep. Of course, the next day everybody checked on me. And me, I was ready to get back in the zone. Like, okay, get up, go to class, going to the gym. And everybody like, no, you need to give your body a minute to get back on track. Like, get back to normal. Give your lungs some time to open back up. You know what I'm saying? So you can, get back to your norm. So I was like, okay. So that is the story time, y'all. How your girl went to the emergency room. She had good news and bad news at the same time. That was a rough day for me. Really rough day. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story time. There will be more to come eventually. Hopefully I'll have, some more friends on my channel. We'll come up with some different, games and stuff like that. Vlog. And don't forget, I have my trips coming up, so you guys will be a part of that. You'll get to see my family. 2 parts of my family. Well, I have a big family, so you'll get to see the other half and all that extra. So, anyways, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to your girl. Make sure you turn that post notification bell to get notified every time your girl posts, So, remember to love yourself and love yourself only, because guess what? At the end of the day, it's only you. So, y'all have a blessed day, and I love you.